We've got a brand new Madden 22 update. Yes, they're still updating Madden 22, and yes, franchise mode is actually included in this update. They actually have stuck to their word so far and have delivered the second franchise update along with some other things. We've gotten a few other things in this update that we've been waiting for as well, so kind of a nice little surprise by EA because it definitely seemed like they were done with Madden 22, completely on to Madden 23, which is probably mostly true, but they're still pushing a few more things out for the people that are still playing the game. Now we're going to go over everything you need to know about this update, but really quickly, if you don't want to miss out on any of the future updates or the Madden 23 news that's going to start dropping any month now, make sure to subscribe, turn the bell icon on so you don't miss those videos when they go live. We've also got a new NFL 2K game coming out at the start of the new football season as well, so we should be getting some news on that soon too. So if you don't want to miss that, again, subscribe, bell icon, because you're going to want to be up to date on that for sure. So let's go over today's Madden 22 March update. So first, we're going to go over some gameplay stuff. We got actually a pretty big one here with the coaching adjustments that were actually added to practice mode finally. Now this was only for the next gen consoles because they were already in practice mode on the older gen consoles, but this had been a big issue for the last couple of years. People that practice want to be able to use coach adjustments specifically for the zone drops, because when you play online games, people adjust their zone drops. So when you're kind of building out your offenses or testing out plays, you want to test them versus these different zone coverage depths. And it says here that it's finally been added to the practice menu, and they added a note that said, when the play call menu was redesigned in Madden 21 for the launch of Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, some of the functionality from the previous console generation was left behind. As y'all have told us, you found these options very useful in practice, so the controls to use coaching adjustments in practice have been brought over. Players can click the right stick /R3 at any level in the play call center to the coach adjust menu. Once you back out of the menu, you will be returned to the previous spot in the play call menu. So that is actually probably my favorite thing from this update, because it's just kind of a quality of life feature that is very useful for people that like to use practice mode. They also fixed an issue with the gun wing slot weak RPO power alert glance play from allowing the QB to break out of the handoff and scramble instead of handoff or passing. Now, this has been an issue all year. They've been fixing these RPO glitches all year long. I thought this one specifically was fixed a while ago. Apparently, it was still having issues. So once again, they're still attacking things this late in the year that honestly should have probably never made it into the game to begin with, but a fix is a fix. They also fixed an issue allowing a playmaker flip on the RPO stretch play out of single back bunch tight end. This is another one that had been in the game all year, kind of went under the radar until the last few months where people started to find out about it. I myself was even using it a little bit. This was a pretty glitchy play where you could flip an RPO stretch that otherwise you're not supposed to be able to flip because it's an RPO stretch. You're not supposed to be able to flip that run. People were doing it, and it was kind of causing the defense to bug out a little bit. They've now finally fixed that one as well. They removed the temporary modifier previously used in the RPO zone peak plays that was allowing defenders to shed their blocks quicker. Block sheds on this play are now back to using solely the ratings matchup, as the exploits leading to this modifier have been resolved. And they also fixed an issue with the handoff animation and the gun split slot open triple option play so that it will function the same as other triple option handoffs. Now let's get to that franchise update. All of the franchise heads out there can rejoice maybe a little bit, because the second of 3 post-launch franchise updates is finally here. Yes, it's March. Yes, many people are done with the game, but they finally delivered the second update, and we still need the third one, which maybe will be coming in April, maybe even as late as May at this point. They're pretty late this year, which is definitely an issue in my opinion. The main thing they're doing with this franchise update is something they said that they would do at the beginning of the year, and something I talked about in my previous video when I talked about what would possibly be coming with the franchise updates, and they're increasing that season engine or scenario engine by adding more scenarios. This is something they said they were going to do, so they did live up to their word. We'll get into that in a second, but first they did fix some issues as well. They fixed an issue with the 5th year option scenario that was causing it to not trigger in the off season. That's a pretty important fix. They also fixed an issue with a crisis in confidence scenario goal that would cause it to not award staff points upon completion. So those are 2 things that they did fix. I know there's some other things that still need to be fixed, and it doesn't look like that was addressed, but here are the new scenarios that were added for the second franchise update. It says this will apply to both new and existing franchise files, so no need to restart your franchise, which is definitely a win, because you have to restart your franchise this late in the year. It's like, what's the point? The first scenario is Trench Boost. This new Trench Boost scenario gives you a chance to help improve your entire offensive line by building off either a strong rushing or passing performance. The tier-based rewards will compensate you based on your success in the following game and give you the opportunity to immediately beef up your offensive front to either clear lanes for your running backs or keep your franchise quarterback's jersey clean. The next scenario is QB Duel. The QB Duel scenario starts during the regular season when two of the league's best signal callers face off. As a coach, you'll be faced with the choice of calling on your own elite quarterback to have a huge game that leads you to victory, or challenging your defense to step up to the plate and shut down one of the league's best signal callers. The next scenario is Immovable Object, a mid to late season scenario where your matchup includes facing one of the league's staunchest defenses, also known as the ominous Immovable Object. Do you attack them and try to run right through the wall? Do you take the skies and throw it over the wall? Or do you enter the arena with the attitude to win by any means necessary? The next scenario is Under Siege. After dealing with the barrage of sacks in the middle of the season, you'll be forced as a coach to place blame on either your offensive line for not holding up or your quarterback for not getting the ball out quick enough. Following that decision, you'll be tasked with how to approach the following game, which can include staying the course, shifting to the run, or extra preparation heading into the game. Depending on your choice and success in the next game, your offense and your offensive line can receive the boost they need to bounce back and right the ship. The last scenario is QB Breakouts. It says we've updated the QB Breakouts with modular cinematics, and similar to our other breakout scenarios, in the week following a standout performance by your quarterback, he'll be given a set of goals that he must complete to increase his dev trait. These goals will scale by dev trait, meaning upgrading a player from normal to star, which will be easier than upgrading from star to superstar or superstar to X Factor. Already have an X Factor QB and feel left out? Don't worry, as you'll have the potential to put up a huge day, but rather than receiving a dev trait upgrade, you'll be vying for a chance at a huge chunk of XP. Now, is it nice that they're sticking to their word, even if, they're kind of throwing this in very last minute and delivering the franchise updates? Yes, but I would say that because it's March and because it's been since, I want to say October, since the first update, it seems like a pretty long time to wait for it just to be a few new scenarios. Yes, it's better than nothing, but again, when you have a mode that's as far behind as it is and you're taking a while to get some of these updates out, I think most people would have liked to see a little bit more than just some new scenarios added. They've also updated playbook, something that I talked about in a previous video that was still something they should be doing because they had promised multiple playbook updates. This year, they've been a little bit better about it than they were last year. This is more than likely going to be the last playbook update of the year, but they added some pretty nice things here. One of the most notable in the NFL Live playbook update is in the 49ers playbook. They updated single back deuce close and the gun split close pro to Debo package. So there should be a Debo package for Debo Samuel in these formations, which I would assume is going to put him at running back, which is nice because he took the league by storm this year as kind of that dual threat wide receiver slash, being used as a running back. So it's good to see that now replicated in the 49ers playbook in two of the more popular formations that you would see a Debo Samuel at the running back position. In the Bears playbook, they added the I form Z close, the I form slot, strong close, and the gun split close pro. All very good formations that you would love. So if you are a Bears playbook user, which I don't think there's too many of you out there, but if you're like a diehard Bear fan that uses the Bears playbook, these are some good formations that were added to the live playbook. The Bengals playbook also added single back wing pair, single back wing tight Z, single back Y deep trips, gun split slot, and gun spread Y flex. A few good single back formations there for sure. Bengals have an underrated playbook. They actually have a pretty good single back playbook, so they've added some more options there, which is nice. The Bills playbook added the deuce close, the doubles off close, and weak pro. The deuce close is going to be kind of the big one here. It's one of the better under center formations, and the Bills playbook is another one that's kind of underrated. They have a lot of good formations. Adding the deuce close to that just makes it even better. The Cowboys added the full house normal wide. Not really the greatest formation, but it's something extra in the Cowboys playbook. The Giants playbook got the most changes. They've added a ton of stuff here. They added the single back doubles off close, the single back Y trips, I form pro, I form Z close, I form slot, I form tight, strong Z close, weak pro, gun split slot, gun normal Y off, gun normal Y off weak, gun Y off X close, and gun trips tight end. That's a ton of stuff. The Giants playbook is just completely different basically based on this, and there's some really good formations in that group that I just named, so definitely check out the Giants playbook. The Lions playbook added the single back wing tight U, the strong Z close, gun bunch tight end, which is one of the best formations formations in the game, and gun tray open, so that's a really nice boost for the Lions playbook. The Packers playbook added the I-form slot, the weak Z close, gun split close pro, doubles, and spread Y flex. And lastly, the Rams playbook added the gun trips halfback weak. That's the title update for March. Glad to see franchise finally get some of that love. Glad to see playbooks finally get some changes made. But that's the bulk of it for today. I will see you guys next time.